What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 172, being recorded on August 17th, 2022. I am your host, Darth Moocher, and we've got a full house here. It hasn't been like this in a long time. Scott Solo's here with me.
What's up, nerds?
Bootleg Joe.
Evening.
Grand Admiral Franz.
Sup, yo?
The return of the Kyber Crystal.
Hi.
And the long-awaited return of Ernie the Fallen Fett.
Hey guys, what's up? Thank you. Calm down.
Calm down.
I'm back. I am. Let's do this.
We missed you, man. We missed you. We missed that enthusiasm. We missed you.
Yeah, man. It was a long break. And then I got COVID, and so it made it even longer. And today I was like, okay, I'm at the end of it. My throat's killing me. I don't care. I need to come back. So
nice. Well, I'm sure this show that we've set up to you won't be talking a lot. Let's just we'll just put that out there right now. But
you do have that sexy rasp thing going on, man.
Yeah, you can definitely hear it. I might have to keep it.
Yeah. All right. So before we get into the show, we would love to give a special thank you to our Patreons that help us support everything that we do. Maybe some updated graphics later on, maybe some updated everything goes into the little kiddie pool. So Scott, take that away.
It all goes into the kids pool. I don't know.
No, kiddie, Kitty. Don't kids. This is 2022.
Anyway, so if anybody feels so inclined, please log on to patreon.com/Sarlacc Digest Podcast and consider donating $1 or $2 a month. We really appreciate it. It goes back into the production of the show. Just look at Ernie's new microphone right there. Ooh la la!
They got me a mic.
Look at how
me the
sexy he
saber.
sounds. Well, I didn't get everything.
Wrong show.
Yeah,
We're not in that league, buddy.
Sorry.
Not yet. We're getting there. So if you would, please consider donating $1 or $2, like our friends Ryan and the Star Joes, Cliff, Don and Brady of the Escape Pod podcast on the Red 5 Network. Hey, that's our network. Flavy Davy, formerly of the Nerds with Attitude podcast, Don the Dad Dorn, Justin the Vanilla Thunder, Mervine, Gavin Connor of the All Cure Holy Hour podcast, Crystal Lamphere, Brandon and Anya Epler, and AJ from the Forbidden Panel. One of these days, I will memorize that list, but it is not this day. Thank you, one and all.
Well, let's get some additions there so you can't memorize it yet.
That's what I was just going to say.
Throw a whole wrench in there, right?
That'd be
throw him off, people. Somebody else throw in there. Screw Scott up. That's
and then we'll
goal.
do a shuffle. So
Yes.
Oh, no, don't shuffle.
So while we're at it there, Scott, I see people in the pit being digested as we speak.
That's right.
Go ahead and shout them out because we're going to get them involved here very, very soon.
Oh, yeah. This is an all-hands-on-deck kind of conversation tonight. So Miss Sunflower dropped in to say hi. She'll watch us on a replay. We've got Gordon, Mando, Mike, Bootleg Joe, Matt Logic 44, me, Gavin Connor of that Holy Hour podcast. Lax Sivrak is in the house, the Nerd Alert, and many more. I see there's a lot of people watching. So everybody, say hi. Get involved. You're going to like this one. It's going to be... Gloves are coming off today.
It could be.
The gloves down.
So anyway, everybody, thank you. Welcome. As I know there is some news out there, but we're going to hold that until it kind of builds up into a point where we can actually do a whole show around it. Probably next week. We might be talking about some Plagueis news, some production news. So all that stuff is going to happen. But today I thought it would be very cool, or actually Scott thought it would be very cool to start a random wheel and random topics. Since this is probably Crystal's first time doing that with us, and it'd be interesting to get her takes on a lot of subjects, that controversial subjects, maybe not, we'll see. So we have a wheel.
I'd like to say that I'm here under duress and objection. Everybody that listens knows I'm not into conflict. I don't like going into controversial topics at all.
Did I come back to the right show?
I think this is going to be a rough episode for me, guys. I might just sit it out. I don't know. So
I think Crystal, who's known you the least out of here, already can see the amount of bullshit coming off of that. Yeah.
I am sensing a little bit there.
Yeah.
I'm a changed man. I hardly ever fight.
Hardly ever fight.
Hardly ever. Just whenever he's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Just whenever somebody disagrees. That is wrong.
Cool. Well, without any further ado, let's go ahead and present the wheel.
Da, 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 da.
I hope everybody can see that okay, because
Do we want to say what is on the wheel first off?
Yeah, so, let me pull that up.
All right.
So, we have, what we did is we wanted a little bit of a more of a heated discussion, so we pulled all the things that we thought with amongst us and the Star Wars community that there would be some kind of hot topics or Hoth topics, if you will.
Yes.
So
it's the wheel of clickbait, folks.
Yeah, it's the wheel of clickbait,
Right.
guys. So the first on the wheel is Kathleen Kennedy. We have the Mandoverse, which should be fun. Holdo, Sith Lord Jar Jar, that one's for Joey. The special editions, just overall special editions, love it, hate it. We have Rose Tico on there. We have Rated R Star Wars, meaning like, should there be Rated R Star Wars? The issue of Slave One, the name change.
You mean Boba Fett Starship?
You can't say that.
Not until it lands on there. The Return of the Jedi musical number, which you will all know about that. The Jedi rocks, and yeah, that's okay. The Third Sister, the pod race scene. That's probably for me and Chris to duke it out on that. Yeah, Snoke in general, rebooting the sequels. That should be a good one. Han, Leia, and Luke's deaths. Greedo shot first. Nice guy Boba Fett, and other Star Wars podcasts. That one can get
throwing the gauntlet.
That one can get very controversial.
Are you sure you want to do this?
The thing that broke the Sarlacc digests.
So, let's go ahead and spin that and get our first subject going. And everybody that's joining us in the pit, cross your fingers for a good one here. Ready?
Buckle up, everybody.
All right, I'm just gonna go get some popcorn. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Here we go.
The pod race scene.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
For our audio listeners, it is the pod race scene. So.
Yeah, the pod race scene, and the reason why it's on there too is because I love it. Chris hates it, but he doesn't like hates it that it's not in there. He just hates the length of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, thank you. That's it.
Well,
I don't want to argue. I don't want to have a conflict today.
First off, I'm okay.
You know what? You keep your pod race. It's totally fine. It's okay, Marco.
Well,
the 10-minute
No, it's
timer-
way too damn long. That's
the 10-minute timer has set, so you guys can argue.
So we can start right now, and by the time we're done with this 10-minute timer, we're halfway through the pod race. So good deal. I don't have to have the whole damn event, right? I don't watch a Harry Potter and get a whole Quidditch match, the entire match. I just watch the whole effing race.
Because the match was very short. That's why they won really fast.
The problem with especially the special edition of episode 1 was they went and they recut it to make sure that the entire pod race was there, and a lot of it was just unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
That's what it is. Look, the pod racers are cool, right? The video game pod racer is cool.
Thank you, Gavin.
Right? But
Gavin
the
says
damn
it's
thing
so
is,
long.
Hey, and usually it's no complaints, but in this instance, there's a complaint. That's really my drag on episode 1 anymore. Really, when I watch it, there's not a whole lot in there. Politics don't bore me. None of that bores me. Even the parts of episode 1 that kind of drag on, you would think, right? They don't bug me. But the pod race, this exciting ass scene, which George just likes speed, right? I'm watching the ILM piece, right? So I'm on episode 3. And I get that he just likes speed, and that's what he gets there. But it was his dream.
I agree on some aspect. Just like we're not going to talk about the musical number, but the musical number is George Lucas's pet. He wanted a musical number in Star Wars. That's why he put it. The pod race, just like you said, the fast pace, the excitement. I've always chalked it up to, and it's obviously very obvious that it's showing a different side of Star Wars, not the war side of it. It's the the scum and villainy kind of betting and underworld kind of stuff. So that's why I love it. Yeah.
Don't forget, if you want to bring something up, raise your hand, because it's going to get difficult to talk in here. So yes.
Yeah.
That rules never work.
See, look, you already cut her off. She was about to say something, and you already cut her off.
Crystal, it ain't ever going to work. I'm just letting you know. Just do what you got to do is say, "Shut up, I got it," and then we're good.
Listen to me. No.
Perfect.
So the pod race is one of the things that turned me off from Star Wars forever. I watched that thing like 20 times, and I had to shut it off because I'm like, dude, this pod race is never gonna freaking end. I'm like, I'll watch this later. I'll watch this later because forever. It is my number one most hated scene in all of Star Wars.
Wow, so you're with
And the
Chris
great
on
thing
that
was-
count.
Yes.
when they returned to that canyon in,
High five.
the Book of Boba Fett, you know,
Yeah. No.
I was like, oh, I know every turn of this fucking canyon. Sorry.
Well,
Yeah. Oh, you used the one.
Oh,
It was way
that's
too
it.
early for that, Scott. I am
Good
pissed.
Lord.
I'm out of here now. I'm
What?
done. I don't even.
Last time you said it was
On the
one apiece.
pod race.
So that's just one.
Yeah,
I
Matt
thought we were
Logic
at
is
one apiece.
the race is one of the best parts. The sound is great as well. I totally agree.
the sound is amazing.
Yeah, no doubt.
Even when we saw it in the movie theaters 10 times in a row, I really didn't go there in my mind as far as like, Dad, just get on with the story. I was engulfed in it, you know, and the sound was awesome. The speed is awesome. I think it fits. Could it benefit from about being 5 minutes shorter? Sure. And I probably wouldn't miss a beat. Like I probably would watch it and be like, oh, I didn't even notice they cut 5 minutes off of it, honestly, because what Scott Bravo was saying too is he said you can only watch pod racers lean and weave through canyons so many times and so many views. I get it. I totally get it. And I understand like Chris's point of view. He doesn't want it cut out. He just wants it like hey, we get it. We understand what the point is.
And it was cool to show him as a great pilot and all this stuff. You know, I mean, I like that. And it helped with the stories, you know, and things that were said later on. It made sense, you know. You know, like your father was a great pilot when I met him. Like he met him when he was 10 years old.
Yeah.
So he had to be a pilot somewhere, and it wasn't going to be in space. It made sense in that whole the whole scheme of things. It makes sense.
It made sense, but it was too long. Yeah, and then you had the two-headed announcer who was really.
There was a lot of cheese in there. A lot of cheese in that.
Quadraderos.
That was cheesy.
Yeah.
No, what is this?
Little Anakin Skywalker from around
You
the
know what?
corner. That was
I hate
always
it so
great.
much more now. Thanks.
I know.
I was already hating
Yeah.
it. I'm back.
You might get me to
I'm
change my mind right there.
I'm with TJ though, and everybody else. It was a different time at that time for a scene to come out compared to what we have now. You have the big screen in your living room, the big giant. It needs 5 people in order to move it, and your surround sound with your speakers next to your couch and everything up front. And that was the thing to show off, right?
Yep.
There was 2 things that you did. You played the pod race and the Matrix.
Yes.
Like no matter
And
what, that's all
right.
you did.
And
Equilibrium.
like Matrix, Matthew Carlisle on Facebook says it felt video game-ish. Yes.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
did.
No, it was the
So when
pod
you have
race and
that's
equilibrium
always
for me.
what
All
I
surround
did
sound.
and I heard was just
love
for the
it.
sound.
Yeah,
that, you know,
that sound was awesome.
move around you. Yeah.
You're right. Everybody was
That's
getting to
about it.
5.1. Everybody had speakers all around their couches,
Yes.
all up in everything. You're right. You're
Guess
totally
what I'm
right.
going to do after this podcast? I'm going to go put this pod race scene on just for that surround
Turn
sound
it
and
up.
everything. Yeah.
TJ8311, I never heard anyone say it was too long until I started watching you guys. Take that however you want, everybody.
Yeah.
I still just
I-
fast forward to Duel of the Fates. I don't matter.
Yeah.
I
It's like
just jump
when
right
I'm
to it.
watching Phantom Menace, that's the last thing that goes through my mind. It's like, oh, let's move on to it because some what Chris was alluding to is like sometimes the other parts are just so boring to me that I'm kind of like relishing in the moment of the pod race. Like, I don't want it to end because now we're going to get into other stuff.
You know what? And you know how we rewatch these movies hundreds and hundreds of times, right?
Yeah,
For
of
some
course.
reason, the pod race, knowing the winner of the pod race every time and how it's going to play out, is boring to me. And it's weird, right? But I mean, because we know how every single lightsaber duel is going to play out, how every battle is going to play out, and I know every time the Death Star is going to blow up, and it's not boring to me. But me knowing I'm going to get through this race, and Boba's going to be a dick, and he's going to come back, blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Sure.
And it just bugs me. It just.
Yeah, I think what bugs me most is the plot point of the pod race. How Anakin wins his freedom from that point. I think it was just kind of maybe too simple, too easy. That's what bugs me more than the pod race itself.
How would you had it done if it was you writing the script?
Well, if it was me writing the script, I probably would have started at episode 2. I wouldn't have even done like Anakin wouldn't have been born of the Force. He wouldn't have been a slave. He wouldn't have won his freedom. He would have been a rogue Jedi that went and got seduced. And that to me is a little bit more powerful than what it was. So it's like I have this whole idea of what Anakin in my head I wanted. Again, there's things that I wanted and we saw and accepted, right? But yeah, I don't know. I really haven't thought of like, okay, same scenario, take him out of that, or what would the pod race do besides win his freedom? Like I really haven't thought of that yet. So homework.
Gordon, haha, episode 1 wasn't very wizard.
No, but we still love it, right? I mean, it's still,
Sure.
yeah.
It's my third favorite prequel.
Let's go with Scott Bravo. It foreshadowed the battle in space with spinning.
Yeah.
When his plot disconnected and spun spin.
Every chance
yes.
Anakin gets, he spins something, and we have to see it. They're always doing that just so it connects back. It's funny.
Yeah.
So,
all right,
we still have 2 minutes to go, or we are good on that one.
Final thoughts. Anybody else? I think
Anybody?
it's a love-hate to me. It's I feel I sense there's a love-hate relationship with the pod race. Some people can do complete without it, but again, that plot point needs to move the story forward. Shorten, I think, is the overall sentiment, right? Shorten.
That's all, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too late now. I mean, you don't have to shorten it. It just that's the beef with it. That's all, and it exists.
Exactly.
All right, it's never too late, though. Aren't you a little bit surprised that we still haven't had a brand new recut, or he wasn't able to give us that?
Afraid of it. I think they're afraid of recutting.
I don't think we will now, but before he sold it, and if he still had it, I bet you.
Well, he kept adding to it.
He would have just made a longer pod race.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It was probably like 2 hours long, and he's like, maybe I should cut this down a little bit.
Right. It was 500 laps, and it turned into 3. It was.
Yeah. I agree. The whole Born of the Force is kind of lame to me. I agree. Yeah. That's off subject. Okay, cool. Let's spin the wheel again. Scott, go ahead and reset the timer.
That was almost a new topic there. I felt it.
It was.
That was, yeah. Too bad. I should have put that on here. Well, we'll have to do that again.
Did you remove that one from the?
Yes.
Okay, great.
It is removed. All right, guys. Here we go.
Oh no! Everybody, hold on to your butts.
I knew it.
Other Star Wars podcast.
Oh boy. Okay.
What is another Star Wars podcast? I don't know what that is. This is the only one.
Exactly.
So we're gonna talk about the like the other Star Wars the podcast realm that's out there, right? I mean, yes, there's us, and then there's everybody else. That's how I see it. But I'm kidding.
That's how it
friends
is.
Of the show. We have a lot of friends that are in the Star Wars podcast, and we're not talking about them because they're cool. No. We love them, especially the ones on the Red 5 network.
Or like the guys on the 1313 podcast. Those guys are cool.
Oh, those guys are awesome. Yeah,
those kids are great. But there are others.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're not so great.
We like I actually do listen to other Star Wars podcasts, and just not to get a sense of like what we're doing and comparing. It's like, what are they like, other news and stuff, sometimes not direct, like I won't take it from here, but I kind of understand and want to see what other people are talking about, like what are the other interests are there besides like us as a Sarlacc crew. We have our kind of specific strengths and weaknesses within the group, and I'm kind of like curious to see what's out there. And then there's the other Star Wars podcast that just want to start stuff and
make shit
clickbait up.
And they're the ones that actually have the following, the viewers, the hours, the time, the 2 million views on each video. That's you're talking about, right? Those ass clowns that have no business near the IP, right?
The one thing that I would love to throw out there is that anybody who's out there, and I'll get to the comments in a sec because I really appreciate some of the comments. Is that when you go to these other podcasts and the clickbaiter ones, and they throw out a video 3 times a day, and they're 5-minute videos, and then there's a mountain of comments underneath, and not one response from the creators themselves. They will not respond to you. So, like, my question, and maybe this is not a question for anybody listening, but just throwing it out there in the ether is, why are you listening to them if they're not interacting with you? If you can't ask a question, they won't come out and confirm it. They just say, "Hey guys, Mando season 3 is canceled," and moving on. And it's like, well, wait a second, just because they're fly on the wall said it with no facts, nothing to back it. I mean, these are like legitimate headlines, that I see a lot.
Yeah, so, one of them in particular is always, Kathleen Kennedy fired.
Every week she's fired.
Every week fired, confirmed. Inside sources have said that they have canceled her contract. And yet this particular podcast in particular gets, hundreds of thousands of views. And it's like people down below shouting out, "Yeah, man, on. It's about time." And she's still there. She's not going anywhere, guys. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's basically news, fake news for the sake of clicks, and monetization is what it is.
It's money. It's money.
Instead of me bashing them for a second, or talking good about anybody else, just talking about us. right? Just saying how we're different than that. The only thing I'm going to say on this, I don't want to be combative towards anybody because it's not a good look for me. I don't want to fight them, right? But we just try to be real, right? These are real conversations we have. This is what we have in lines as friends, and that's what we like to do. We're not in there to force a conversation, in there to force for clicks or do anything or pay for clicks or make you make money off this shit, right? Once in a while, we get something cool because we have great listeners that help us out and make the show a little bit better. And pretty much most of us have new mics by now over the last couple of years, and that's cool and stuff. That's the most money we need, right? We get to go to conventions and see people. We're not out there to be famous and rich and all this stuff. But the guys that do, they're full of it, and that sucks. But we try to keep it real. Try to keep it real for our following. We have a very loyal, cool following,
Yes.
Yeah. We may not have millions, but we got the coolest tens of dozens.
I agree.
Right?
Absolutely.
And that's what rocks. So I just want to say that I'll just leave it at that one.
No, that's cool. No, I think that sentiment is all around, honestly.
Matt Logic asks, the topic doesn't have to be negative, but what other pods does a Starlight Digest like listening to? Personally, I stopped listening to other Star Wars podcasts because I didn't want to approach our topics with their thoughts in my head.
Yep.
Right.
I wanted to come at everything fresh. So I used to listen to a daily Star Wars podcast, but now my podcasts are all like Time Suck and like the history podcasts. And I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Chris got me into listening to audiobooks. So I do a lot of that, but I do not listen to other Star Wars podcasts.
Yeah. Mine was, of course, like 1313. Those guys are just cool. I like their energy, and they talk a lot of toys too. So, it's something that I know we get into toy talk, but most of our stuff is like embedded Star Wars, and I try to get like some of their perspectives. They're younger too, and that's key also. Like, I'm always trying to find out what other generations are thinking about our beloved Star Wars. I mean, that's somewhat
we hung out with the Carbonite guys, right? The Carbonite Combo guys. They're super young, but they're awesome, and they got a good show, a good attitude about everything, and they've been rocking and rolling and doing stuff, and they're Funko guys, so I dig that.
Yeah.
I've listened to some Star Wars like conspiracy theories where this like silly stuff, but it's kind of interesting to see like if A plus B is C, then this is what's going to happen, or cool stuff like that.
Like theory crafting stuff, like
welcome to the Starlight Digest.
Yeah.
Some of that. Right. Theory crafting is our specialty.
Yeah.
No, it's because like they'll take every aspect, like they'll pull from movies and books and comics. And they'll just wrap it all together and be like, this is why, and it's kind of cool to listen to. So I think those kind of podcasts.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot.
You've chosen a good one to be on.
Yeah, that's a lot of what we do because and then we watch the content and go, man, we were way off.
Or we get upset it didn't happen that way. We theory craft
we learned
so
our
much.
lesson.
We have such a great story. And when it doesn't happen, that's the bad part.
I've been mad so many times.
I like to listen to the Starlight Digest, the Fallen Fett Chronicles. That one really gets me. I love that show. That's probably
I've seen
my
him
favorite.
tingle. He like whoa.
And then, that's about
There's
it.
this How I Do Disney. There's that How I Do Disney one. That one's
How We Do Disney is an amazing show.
Yeah, that one's pretty
Those
good.
guys really know what they're talking about. No, seriously, for reals, it's a lot to listen to other people, and I've done that. Like Marco, like us, when we used to do the Podcasting Dead,
right?
To watch the show, wait until we could record, and not listen to somebody else because of that. I get what Scott's saying. You don't want to pull from somebody else's thoughts
because
or ideas.
Then it's quite obvious.
It's very difficult. Yeah,
I caught myself doing it a couple years ago, and I'm like, I've got to stop. I've got to stop this because I'm going to end up. Yeah, and I'm like, no.
So it's cool other people's content that is out there. What I look for now is the how genuine they are for the show. So if somebody wants to stop and say hi to me or take a picture or anything like that, I'm going to do it because that's what I do. I'm here in front of the camera. I tell everybody my story. You do that for a reason. I do not like the ones who blow you off. Yeah. You have chosen to do this to put you out
a good
there.
fan or two that'll blow you off.
Right. But you chose yourself to make this decision and put yourself in front of the camera. You are now, getting money off of it. Even those ones, and somebody just stopped to say hi because they saw you and you totally blew them off. Yeah. And you don't say anything. Oh, I can't stand seeing that out there. And I've seen some of these Star Wars ones who were once the ones to stop and say hi to everybody and have now turned into that.
Yeah.
That isn't cool because you're just still doing the same thing. You just have more followers. And if it's that one person who just wants to say hi to you, that makes a total difference to that one person to stay the right way in the fandom. Because now you could have swayed them and made it different.
Oh,
it
freaked me validated us in celebration. I mean,
it freaked me out when I ran into Santo 1414 and he's like, "Can I get a photo?" And I'm like, "With me? Really?
Yeah,
sure."
You want me to
that was so weird. You sure you don't want me to take a picture of you? I mean,
I don't care. I'm at Disneyland. I'm wherever at a show or whatever. I've put myself out there. Then I should in turn stop and talk to that person who stopped me, say hi, say what's up, and make sure that they continue listening. Make sure they like something about the show. Hey, what's the point? I may not remember your name because I suck at names, but I'm going to just go and shout out the whole conversation and say what's up. And that's what I feel is missing through a lot of people who do shows now is that stardom, that whole, oh, well, I have 35,000 followers. I don't need to stop to talk to that one person.
Yeah, but not even
different.
drop a comment is what really bugs me. Yeah,
correct. You need to keep that up of this is what you're doing. And dude, you could have just destroyed that one person now of see, this is what I'm talking about in Star Wars. You don't know what type of data
you have 50 seconds.
And
50
so
seconds,
for that, that's what I'm saying, dude. You should be able to listen to everybody out there, get a good vibe off of whatever show you listen to and why you listen to them. But at the same time, if you see them out, how do they treat you? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Let me hit the chat real fast. Laxervac has to go. Thank you, man, for stopping by again, and I'll see you on the replay. There's a lot of great comments in there for us. Just validating that, keep doing what we're doing. And again, we love to interact. And I guess the messages for the other Star Wars podcasts too is like, kind of like regroup and see be grounded in what you're doing. The fandom is split because of some of you guys, and that feeding the stoking the flames of fire with no facts to back it. And no one calls you out on the table for it. And that's what really bugs me. So again, I only read headlines. I don't even watch them anymore. Yes.
Like Gordon says, anyone that says they have inside sources is full of shite.
Most people have inside sources can't even say that they have inside sources.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
because we
the
have
whole
inside
thing.
sources. I'm just kidding.
Right.
Yeah.
And we
can't say
there
shit.
you go.
And we don't say shite. So
Hey, can you hit up Mando's in a minute?
Yeah. Our fans are the fans are what made you absolutely like. We don't have fans. We have a community, and like I said, we speak to each other, and that's what we'll do.
Hit Mando Mike's the long one right there. The good number. Okay, I love that one.
Hey, damn it, Mark! I got this.
Hands up.
So a combination of positive and negative opinions on a topic makes it a legitimate Star Wars podcast, not leaning one way or the other. That's where we differ a lot too, right? Because a lot of podcasts make their way getting into the political spectrum, right? One way or the other. We don't do that. Like that too, we don't. We're not a bunch of yes people. Right? Because if somebody disagrees, we have argued plenty on this show. Yeah. I mean, plenty, and it's fun. And
off air.
And off air. And those are some of my favorite shows, dude. Some of my favorite shows are when we just go at it. Me and Scott went at it one day, and that's still one of my favorite shows.
That's great.
Afterwards, I'm like, I don't know if we're friends anymore, but that was freaking rad.
That was awesome.
Such good content.
Yeah, good content. Cool, F
you. Yeah, exactly. We'll see you tomorrow. All right.
Later. Talk to you in chat, dick.
Cool, guys. So, let's spin the wheel again and
all right,
keep the ball rolling here.
We got to do this more often. This is fun.
I love the wheel.
Yeah,
all right.
The wheel's
my favorite.
Okay. Let me find it. All right, there we go.
Oh, here we go.
Fortune.
Big money, big money, big money. Oh shit!
Come on, one more. Let's go. I don't want.
There it is.
Mandover.
All right, remove.
That was gonna get real nasty for a second.
No, I don't think it would.
All right, let's go ahead. I'm hitting the timer and let's go. Let's go.
I guess with the Mandoverse, who's excited that it was reassured? There was some a bit of news about Jon Favreau. He's reassured us that everything is coming to a epic, conclusion to the Ahsoka, Mando, not Andor. He didn't say Andor. Book of Fett. He even said Book of Fett. Okay, that's something to kind of like think about too. And he said Skeleton Crew. All in. And another snippet. I like that word. It was Kathleen Kennedy.
Are you high?
I don't know.
You're doing such a great job, Marco.
Thank
I'll
you.
tell you that too.
Snippet.
Snippet. Kathleen Kennedy also mentioned that the Rangers, the show that we canceled, but it was going to be incorporated into the Mando verse, but Mando season 3, maybe 4. So we might have a segment that like this is what that show could have been or was, and then now we have a couple episodes with that. But the whole Mando verse thing that it's funny how I feel that we kind of coined that and it kind of took off. I don't know, because as soon as we said it, Lucasfilm started saying it. But I mean, we could have probably like heard it, but I'm giving.
Who knows? But we're usually on top of that stuff, and they do listen. So
yeah. So how?
Oh! By the way, hold on, time out. They do listen, because if you saw all the She-Hulk ads, guess what they were saying? Smash that like button. Smash that like button. That was the other reason we had. Well, there's another change coming up later.
Yeah.
But they do listen, and they stole our shit. So it's cool.
Because nobody on YouTube ever said smash that like button.
Not the way we did.
That's right. Not like just to rewind a little bit. Have you ever ended a podcast that kept going wishing you were recording every time?
Night?
It'll
every
happen
time.
again. And
we did one last night, a special edition, and we did an hour, and we talked for another 2.
Yeah.
And then we should have recorded the entire 3.
That's the whole thing. But yeah, Mandoverse. I'm excited for it because it was reassured to us again this week that it is going to culminate with a epic, not a conclusion, but an event. That whole 30 years that Jon Favreau wants to explore, even though this is like the beginning, and then we could fill in the blanks later. So
I'm glad that they reassured it, because that's something that I said a couple weeks ago, is that they gave us the slate, and then they drug the slate out over, so far it's going to be over 3 years before we get to the eventual culmination of it all. So to have that reassurance, I like that. Now I would like for this thing to kind of kick into high gear now, because it has been 3 years. Let's get this train going here, guys, because it's time.
Just like Phase 4 of Marvel, right? Like,
hey. Well, I don't see it this. I'm seeing the Mandoverse more like the trilogies are, right? All eras of time. So now you have the prequels, you have the original trilogy, you have the post. Basically, trilogy time frame is what we're going to have in the Mandoverse. Then you have the Way sequels. You know what I mean? So it's kind of neat how they're doing this together to fill in that time. It's not going to fill in. This part's not going to fill in the 30 years.
No.
They'll probably have 2 more eras in there.
Basically,
to be able to work with it.
Yeah. So I'll just say this, and then I'll be quiet. Is that basically? I know, impossible. They were saying like this Mandoverse is setting up that First Order Snoke kind of stuff moving forward to the sequels. That was the culmination. So there's going to be some sort of big event or crossover and happenings and all these things, all these characters being introduced or new and old, and then like getting to where the next 25 years to the sequels could be it's open for more stuff. So like a phase 2 of or phase 3 of.
Okay. Bravo saying if you hear Favreau say line talk, you better say something.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Well, he could pick that up from our lunches, but
the Nerd Alert saying all YouTubers should stop saying smash that like button. You hold on to that thought, buddy. You hold on to that thought.
We got you.
But yeah, I've heard a lot of negativity towards the Mandoverse too.
Really?
A lot of people,
okay.
Believe it or not, there's a certain segment of the fan base out there that they've stopped. They're not interested. It's like once Disney took over and they finished their trilogy, they're done. They're like, I don't want to know. I don't want any more. I'm tired of this. They're just dragging it out, and all this focus on Baby Yoda. They can't even get his name right. All the focus on Baby Yoda and not a real focus on story. And it's like, okay, well, obviously you dropped it because you're not watching it. That's where the story is, and all of what's happening in the Mandoverse is leading up to that trilogy, man. You don't want to have those. This is like the Clone Wars between the prequels and the originals. This is that era for us. They're filling in that gap like they did with the prequels. Yeah. It's just, the
hope is that it's
30 years worth of.
Yeah, the hope is like what we've talked about. It enhances what we've got, even, and we can talk ourselves into the sequels and around the sequels as far as like, okay, yeah, we get it, we understand it, and we understand it fully. And I'm at that point.
Show,
Yeah,
don't tell, though.
Yes, and I'm at the point right now where the journey is more exciting than the conclusion. We know I'm accepting the conclusion, so I'm having a lot of fun in this sandbox of the journey to the sequels rather than the sequels itself.
Yeah.
See,
and that's the Mandoverse. Yeah.
The only negativity I see in the Mandoverse from anywhere is the political spectrum, right? Where you start seeing when they started bashing the Carano firing, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They started going completely anti-Disney. With Tim Allen's change in Lightyear and all that stuff. See, I don't let real world politics affect my Star Wars, right?
Me neither.
But that's where I see that too, because I have quite a few friends and some listeners on here that they will not order Disney Plus, for that kind of stuff. So it's it's wild. That's the negativity I see there.
That's a sad line in the sand to draw, but because they're just kind of missing out on really great content because I mean. Yeah, but I won't get into that.
No, I don't either. That's their own choice. But I mean, that's the only other negative side I see anymore at all. Besides Book of Boba Fett.
That's another topic
What's
on the
wrong with
wheel.
Book of Boba Fett?
It's on the wheel, brother. It's on the wheel. We gotta wait.
It's on the Mandoverse.
We got Good Guy Fetty coming up. We'll wait.
It's what saved the Mandoverse.
Yeah.
It's what saved
Sorry.
it.
Book of Boba
Did I laugh
Fett.
out loud on that?
Okay.
Man.
I'm saving it because no.
Anybody else have any insights?
He did write a Rancor.
That's true. We have 2 minutes and 45 seconds left on this topic. Does anybody have anything? Joey, you've been silent, man. Come on,
There's no
dude.
space to talk.
Do it. Jump in now.
That's true.
I don't want to talk about this.
And that's it.
Okay, great.
No, I mean, I have no problem with the Mandoverse. I love it. It's a bright spot in Star Wars. It's a breath of fresh air, and anybody that doesn't like it, I don't know. I don't know what your problem is.
I've loved it.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing.
No, it's actually been like the breath of fresh air is very precise because the path that they were going down, and like I said, people should recognize that Disney kind of did a 180 on a lot of things and doubled down on other things. And to me, the stuff they're doubling down on is exciting. There's some really cool stuff out there, especially with Andor coming around the corner.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm with it, man. I'm with it.
I am kind of disappointed though that you said that it did not include the Mandoverse, or Andor was not included in his talk about the Mandoverse, because I was kind of hoping that there would be subtle hints.
I think
in
that
Andor.
I don't think they're gonna let us know yet. I bet
yeah,
you there will be.
either that or it was just a fleeting comment that Favreau and Flinda were saying, and it just didn't mention it. Because obviously every show is going to have an impact throughout the entire timeline that we do. Just like you said, we get a commercial and they say it's canon. Oh, okay. Frame by frame.
Yeah.
I
mean, I'm still positive Kenobi's going to land in Andor. They're going to connect. I'm sure the path and all that stuff will connect.
See,
right?
this is out of left field.
Well,
but I'm hoping I'm hoping the Andor has a lot to do with the Emperor and cloning facilities. Something set up that the Bad Batch will continue.
That we see later, that we've already seen in the Mandoverse.
That will go all the way to the Mandoverse because we've seen the snow clones and so that's the connection that I'm hoping for Andor. That I could see happening for Andor.
I don't want to
you
say
guys
Andor.
ever-
Andor.
What's up?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, have you guys ever waited till like the end credits, seen a name that you recognize but didn't see him in the show, and then have to like go back and play it like super slow?
Yeah.
I've done that.
No, I don't know.
There he is.
I'm usually crying by the credits a lot of times, so it's like
Usually texting each other at that point.
Yes.
Yeah, we're usually like
1 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God! Did you see that?
Yeah, Luke Skywalker came out. So,
Yeah, I think there was a couple subtle characters that I saw their names pop up, and I'm like, oh, sweet.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
I didn't notice. Yeah. Mandoverse.
Are you talking actors or characters?
Actors, but
Actors, yeah.
they're playing the characters that they played in the original Star Wars.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
I got
so-
you. Yeah.
So Matt Logic loves how it turned into theory crafting, and
It always does.
Yeah, it does, and obviously the one that's going to connect it right there will be Thrawn in Andor. By the end, you will see the Chimera. It's a perfect time frame. It's gonna end at Andor, and he's right there. So,
Yeah. Filoni's baby.
with Rebels.
It's Filoni's baby, and he had
Spin
a
the
religious
wheel.
experience.
It's coming.
All right,
Spin the
guys.
wheel.
It's time for another spin. Thank you very much, moderator over there.
Yep. Oh God. Gotta limber up here.
Oh, man,
no! Oh no!
Yes.
Oh no!
Yes!
All right, I'm out.
Yes. That's a good one. I just don't want Kathleen Kennedy. Can we take her off too? Good Lord.
Yeah, I can actually.
We're always so close to her. It's like always.
I hate Holdo. I hate everything about her. Next.
I think the hate is overdone for Holdo, man.
I agree.
I think the hate's overdone. I think the maneuver. I'm gonna go with the maneuver first. I'm gonna start with that. Okay. Everybody gives shit about the Holdo maneuver going through a ship. There is a Star Destroyer that goes through a Death Star and takes it down. Right. Radis uses the Hammerhead to take a Star Destroyer into a Star Destroyer. Mm-hmm. Ships can blow up ships. It's just not practical to do it all the time. That's all.
Very
right. It's a last ditch effort. Is all it is. So the complaints about the Holdo maneuver, I like the scene. That scene was cool to me. I think everybody's ridiculous. Remember they had put signs up in the theater and saying there's going to be a few moments of silence during this. Don't complain. It's
nothing's broke.
You're in space. I think that was really cool what he did. I think that was neat because that's in the emotion of that scene, right? Just added to it.
That's the only thing I like. And like I said, I don't really. I that's the only thing I like about the redemption of that character is that the Holdo maneuver in that scene.
Move.
There is not a damn person that was in that theater that saw that scene that said, "Oh, that's bullshit."
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that's bullshit. No, everybody sitting in that scene. The first time you watch it, you're like, "What?" Yeah, it's one of the coolest scenes in that movie.
Yeah, there were plenty of times I went, "What's going on right now?" in that movie. Yeah. Plenty of times during the film, but that wasn't one of them.
No, not at all.
Now the other part. The other part though is her not giving the plan to Poe, right?
I don't have a problem with that either.
Go for it.
Okay, so here we go. We've got a commander in the Alliance military that just got demoted for insubordination, for not listening to orders, for not taking his role seriously and costing an entire squadron their lives. Why would she who does not know him, though she did know his parents, and that was in the latest comic book, but why would she tell him everything? Why would she tell him the whole plan? Did she? I don't know. That doesn't work for me because in the military, you are not told every little bit of every plan from your admirals, from your generals. You're not told. You are told what you need to freaking know. And if you don't listen, you get thrown in the brig. You know, that's what it is. And if you people want to come out there and say, well, it would have been okay had she just told him, well, yeah, it absolutely would have been, but that's her right as the commander of the forces.
And his job wasn't tactics. His job was execution.
Obviously, it wasn't tactics.
He's the general in charge of the pilots. He's out there. He's not supposed to be on the bridge. That's not his gig. So, yeah, they're not going to give him the whole plan. So.
No. Talk to any person that was in the... I wasn't even in the freaking military. I read a whole hell of a lot of G.I. Joe comics.
Because I see it every day at work.
There you go.
People of lower rank asking someone with a higher rank, okay, why? Don't question. That's none of your concern. Do your mission.
So but isn't that the whole premise of Star Wars? Is to go against the authority?
Question. Still a military structure, even on either side, though. I mean,
I wouldn't necessarily call the Resistance a military structure if they're not the New Republic Army. But again, that's semantics.
Well, they're
the New Republic structure. The New Republic didn't have an army. That's why the Resistance was founded. And the Resistance was founded by General Leia Organa.
And it has Akbar and Holdo and everybody else.
They're all involved.
Military,
yeah. Even the rebels.
You need to stop with that. Blah, blah, blah.
No. I'm saying like Poe, if Poe wasn't supposed to be privy to any information, why was he on the command bridge?
Because he walked up there bitching about
Yes, he did.
How? Then if it was so structured and so... he shouldn't have been allowed to even do that. Now... if they told him the information, like, this is our plan, it wouldn't have changed the movie one iota because everything failed anyway and everything was so structured.
That's what it comes down to, right? It didn't change.
That's what it comes down to.
You're right.
And what bugs me about it's like Laura Dern, I love Laura Dern. She's awesome. She's a great actress. But she just bugged me. There's a couple things. And again, this is probably just nitpicking big time, is the snarky remarks she went back at him, and I know that was written, but snarky remarks going back at Poe, and that haha moments, I got you, now go sit down kind of stuff.
Huge power trip.
Yeah, and then it caused a plot point in the movie that was god awful. The even going to Canto Bight, finding the code breaker, all that was meaningless because it all failed. I know that was the purpose of it.
Oh, and
I know you're going to tell me that.
Yeah, I like that part.
I know you're going to tell me that, but again, I thought they could have just took that, throw it away, and wrote again. Here's where I go. It's like written something else completely because that was the start. When I was watching that movie, I was sitting there going like, "Is this what we're doing? This is where we're going. This is what we're doing." And then went to Counterpart meant nothing. The Codebreaker meant nothing, and because even Rise of Skywalker, nothing carried over from the war parts of the First Order and the Resistance Order. You know what I mean? And second of all, I can't understand why she's in full dress gown being in the military.
That's what I was about to say.
It bugs me. It bugs me.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Leia
I'm sorry, I forgot to put that up there.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Leia was in full, prom uniform too. Also,
yes, she was.
Leia makes sense, right? Leia makes sense because in the book, she just came from Han's. Well, she just came from Han's.
Well, let him finish, Marco. Shit, the man's trying to talk for once today. Let him fucking talk.
Finish your rant.
Yeah, I was trying.
What, Joe? Damn it!
That was my main thing with Holdo was I couldn't see her as a commander. I didn't see her as someone that's in command. I've seen her as someone in a fancy dress, being real snarky, and that's what I couldn't accept her as someone that's in that much command to talk to someone that just went to war.
Yeah.
And to talk down to him like that. I mean, yeah, he did cost lives, but he was just out there risking his life, smashing things up.
He was risking his life, but he was great, but that's about it. She was, but at the same time, he had just, because of his insubordination and not listening to orders, just killed his entire, just responsible for the deaths of his entire unit. So I don't know, man.
Ships that went 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, there's a whole lot. I mean, it's a beautiful movie, but there's a lot in that movie that doesn't make sense.
I beg to differ.
You don't think it's a beautifully shot movie?
No.
Visuals?
Yeah.
Some of it,
Visually,
not all of it.
Yeah. Visually, it's stunning.
Storyline, it's all over the place.
Yeah, I think visually, except for the one everybody hates too. I mean, not everybody. I don't hate the Leia flying. I don't hate it. I don't hate the Force use. I think the execution on the look of it was poor. I think there could have been a little bit of a fix on that. That's all. I like the idea of it, all that. But besides that, though, I can't think of anything that didn't look cool in that movie. It just And I like what Marco was saying a minute ago about what I was going to attack him for. I like the fact that everything failed. I like that they didn't just go off on all these missions and it worked. I think all these boneheaded missions, all these rebels always go on and work and get out of it. I think it's BS. I like when everything fails and they get caught and it doesn't work. I liked it. It
just didn't propel the main story.
The whole trilogy fell apart.
That's
I think
as
cohesiveness.
And looking as a whole, 7, 8, 9. That's what you look and go. And then you go back and watch Last Jedi, you're like,
their biggest miss was the timing of it all, right? It was too short a span for a trilogy. You don't have that continuity problem in the originals or the prequels because you have such a large gap. You're allowed some inconsistencies and stuff, right?
Yeah.
You can't be. You have to just basically, when you be that close, you need to film it together as the same director and everybody.
100%.
It's like 3 days.
Like Gordon says here, the Holdo maneuver should have been the Akbar action. I agree, man. That was so disappointing to see Akbar taken out the way he was. I think it would have been cooler.
It would have been better.
I think that the counterpoint that is if Akbar wasn't on the command deck of the ship that got hit, where would he have been?
Holdo wouldn't have been in charge in the first place. And
exactly. Throw her ass out the window.
He had to be there. He was on the. He had to do it. No, but if he wasn't there, Leia wasn't in charge of that piece. It's Akbar's ship. He was on his ship. Later on we had Holdo's ship is what went
I think what Gordon was saying is like rewrite that so it does fit.
I get it. But if I suppose so. Just make it to where nobody ever hits the bridge.
Counterpoint to what I said. Hey, welcome back, Batu Bey. Good to see you. Let's not forget that Poe just blew up Starkiller Base. Yeah, let's not give info to the war hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too.
I think there's a lot of holes in that scene, just how it was executed, and like I said, and maybe, and here's how I chalk it up. Here's how I talk myself into it: is that's her character. That was that character's choice to be that kind of strict and authority, like talk down to him, is because that is Holdo's character. I was saying I just don't like Holdo. I just don't like her character. Doesn't mean that, I mean, yeah, I probably would benefit with her being written out of the entire trilogy, but I can't do that. So I go, okay, that's her. I don't like the character, but that's what she did. Yeah. I have to, obviously have to accept that.
You know what I've found lately, though, is the sequels, as much as I start to get stirred up, I do stop myself anymore from fighting about them because it's not worth it anymore.
I just don't.
I don't have as much. I don't have as much love in them, since the Mandoverse is here, especially, right? Because I have the Mandoverse to fall back on now, besides the sequels. So I don't get so passionate about arguing it, even the Holdo thing. No, I would a couple years ago, I'd probably argue that harder.
Yeah, but like seriously, I just don't watch them. I just don't consume my day with the sequels. It's everything up to the sequels, and I'm actually enjoying Star Wars a lot better that way. So. All right,
we have time for I think one more, don't we?
Okay, let's do one more, and then maybe let's do that. So Holdo is like a 50-50, I think, in here. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm sure we'll talk more about it later.
We determined nothing, but we had fun arguing about it. That's awesome.
Exactly. All right, one last wheel spin.
Does an argument ever determine anything? Or a discussion ever?
Only on the internet, right?
No.
Only on the internet.
Only on the internet is it. Oh, goody!
All right. The special editions.
We should let Crystal lead this one off because she was probably, it was probably her first experience with Star Wars with special editions. She's not ancient like us.
I refused to watch the special editions for a while.
Nice.
I don't like their CGI. Let's start off with that. I hate it. I hate everything about their CGI. I like the feel of the puppets and all of the stuff that they were using. Yeah. It feels more like you're a kid again and you're watching these things. I hate it. That's number one.
That's it.
Anything of the added content that I don't know if there's a lot of content that adds the story along, but like the Jabba scene, take the effects of the Jabba scene, but that scene in general, like, do you think it should just be it didn't need it?
No, you're talking about A New Hope. Yeah.
I don't think it needed it. I think the first was good. Leave it alone.
I don't think it needed it, but I don't hate it. I think again the execution on that was bad, and what I actually hate about that isn't Jabba as much as Boba. Boba bugs me in that scene for two reasons. One, he looks at the camera, which is absolutely ridiculous, right? Yeah. Who breaks the fourth wall in Star Wars? And two, his pauldron.
Boba Fett does.
No, and his pauldron was empty. There was no mythosaur skull. I mean,
so
is that
bad
design? Yeah, isn't even Boba. What was that? That
Jodo cast. That was Jodo cast.
So it could have been some different type of Mandalorian just because of that point. I mean, everybody like that scene. Was that a Greedo? And that was taken out right away. No, that wasn't Greedo. That's a whole nother. Right.
Yeah.
They all dress the same.
They all have the same flight suit. Yeah.
But then that still goes in because then Lando wears Han's clothes. Like, okay. That,
Lando wears the same clothes in Solo and in The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
That yellow shirt.
Yeah.
Come on.
What about the place?
There was also that was only a day in between, so.
The Force Ghost of Anakin.
Let's do that.
The changing.
That's an interesting one.
Get it?
I have a theory on that.
I get it because I know why they did it. Because who's Sebastian Shaw? After we spent 3 movies with Anakin Skywalker as he is young, who is Sebastian Shaw to step in there and be an older Anakin? People are going to be like, "Who the hell is that guy?"
So when I turn into a Force Ghost, do I get to choose how old I get to be?
Yes,
I think so.
The way
you actually do.
The way it's in canon is you come back as the way you remembered yourself. So you can remember yourself as young. So basically, Anakin remembered himself as Anakin, right? Yeah. Not as Vader. The old man was Vader. The young man was Anakin.
Well, my theory back in the day, and Chris knows this. We talked about this. So my theory when that came out before the books came out and made the Force Ghost a kind of a thing. My theory was when Anakin ceased to be Anakin Skywalker and he became Darth Vader. That was the moment where he really died. Yeah. As Anakin in Episode 3. And so coming back as that Anakin, that is the actual purest form of Anakin at that time that would allow him to become a Force Ghost, because remember, Sith don't become Force Ghosts.
Hold on. Watch this. I'm so sorry. Watch. He said, how Vader says, "You didn't kill Anakin, I did."
Right.
Well, in Return of the Jedi, Anakin comes back and kills Vader. And so Anakin has redeemed himself basically and can become the Force Ghost. So that line in Kenobi now just gave me chills because now I think of it the exact reverse, and you could play that in any comic or book, and that would work out pretty good.
That was the exact point I was about to make.
Oh, I'm sorry, Crystal. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
You're gonna get used to that.
You said it.
Great minds. That's what we chalk it up to.
I really like that thought. I hadn't gone there.
I said, that was my theory before all this new content, right?
Yeah.
And
it still works.
Yeah.
Sure.
Our friend over on Facebook says special editions took away from what we fell in love with in watching these movies as kids.
I agree, man.
I agree. That's Matthew, I think, over there. Yeah, it's Matthew on Facebook. So, absolutely.
It's so funny, though, because I also have to say, though, some people don't know that they're actually special edition. That's what they grew up with.
They think that's Star Wars.
And that's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've had to make this point on other shows of, oh, my God, you don't even know the original. Because it's not out there anymore. As you go back and you got to track it back, it's only that special gold DVD box that had the other version now. If you find it, or you try and you can download
like a Walmart
it somewhere.
Exclusive, I think.
Correct, but even if you download it, they're still showing up with the special edition. It is like so hard to find that. I'm glad I have them. I have them
too.
Drive.
Oh yeah, big time.
I have them too. I also have the despecialized editions, which are fantastic. The upscaling of the video, but with all the original effects. I want personally, and I've said it on the show before, and I'll say it again because I'm a broken record. I want a choose your own adventure Star Wars where you can go through if you want to and choose the dogfight from the end of the special edition and throw that into the original because that dogfight at the end of the New Hope was absolutely upgraded. Everything about
Cloud City Bespin,
the Wampa scene, the Wampa scene with the meat hanging out of his mouth, that was cool, man.
There's some
the Ewoks
welcome
eyes.
changes.
No,
the eyes, the blinking of the eyes. There are some welcome changes.
Yeah, but definitely, like Vader saying no before he throws the Emperor over the chasm. I'm like, no, why? That was a perfectly shot scene where the emotion that could actually be conveyed on a helmet carried that scene, and you have to throw in no. Why? Because you can.
And thank God they got rid of Yub Nub.
All right, let's
fine.
Yeah,
be that
exactly.
way.
Yub Nub's a classic.
But it is though. It's really funny that some people don't even know that. They really don't. Or take for example TBS. Or isn't it TBS or is it TNT that always shows them?
Oh, jeez.
I think it's TNT.
TNT is it?
Yeah,
TNT.
I think it's TNT.
Yeah, we know that it's on all the time, and those are the versions. So, like I'm saying, people have grown up with that, and that's all they know. So to them, because I've, like I said, I've said this on other shows before, and it's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean there was an earlier version? This is it. Yeah. No, there is total, white stick sabers. There is, the cantina scene with all more aliens, which was great. Like, why take away the Wolfman? That was like
Laxivrak. Yeah.
Come on.
TJ saying the originals will gradually fade away. No, it is up to us to keep the originals alive.
It'll fade away with our generation once we go.
That sucks.
Yeah. Correct. That's what I'm saying. And this won't be talked about.
I do want to touch on Crystal's point originally when she said all the CGI sucks. And I just got done watching that ILM thing again for like the second time all the way through. I highly recommend it if you haven't done it. And I agree with Crystal's sentiment on that because the reason why the special editions were made is because Jurassic Park was made. They did such a phenomenal job at Jurassic Park. And then you look at the Dewback and the Ronto and Java on the special edition. You're like, what happened? Did they hire somebody brand new and just said, here, figure it? It was, I don't like that. But the welcoming editions, the starships and Bespin and the Emperor scene and Empire Strikes Back, those are the welcome ones. The musical number can go away. Yub Nub needs to come back full force.
I think it was smart to take Vader on a shuttle to the Star Destroyer. I mean, that's a quick little ad. I think it was a smart little move.
But again, the CG was like very Kenobi-ish, very fast, and like it was like, ooh, it's a little bit, So,
do you guys agree with the what I was telling you about on that one show I saw where they were saying that the reason why they did the remakes or the new editions was to test out the CGI to make the prequels.
100%.
Oh yeah, he said that in the past.
Yes.
Yeah, George Lucas said that the minute that Jurassic Park happened, that the special editions were the lead up to Jurassic Park. Then they knew they could do Jurassic Park, but once Jurassic Park happened, he knew for a fact that he could do
his vision,
and that's why his
vision. Well, Jurassic Park came
was
first.
Like,
yeah.
The ambition on the prequels were so vast; it was the one of its kind.
Yeah, absolutely, Joey. Yeah. Absolutely.
Skyrider, hello from Culver City. Hey, man.
Oh, it's Hondo
or woman.
Hondo Anaka is joining us. Check that out.
Just like Scott Bravo says, most people don't know. This is to Ernie's point that the prequels still use a puppet Yoda before they CGI
ugly ass Yoda.
It was a terrible puppet.
That was a welcoming addition to this.
It was from the same mold, wasn't it? The original mold, but they softened it, and it came out so.
They tried to make him look younger.
They did something right. To me,
they
that
gave him a
just
facelift, some Botox in there, and
change.
Wrecked it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was horrible. On that one, he looks like he was about to die on his deathbed. The way that he looked and the hair was out.
Yeah. And that last scene there with him telling Obi-Wan he could train, or to train not to train the boy or whatever, he didn't want him to. It was Frank Oz still down there puppeteering him. And
yes.
Special editioned him later.
Yeah.
No, it's again, like I like the choose your own adventure. There's some things I would love to keep because it did enhance, and there's some things that would just like, even when I was watching them in theaters again, I'm like, whoa, that was something.
It's like the little droid that comes over and teases the robot that's holding the thing. It's like, why? What's the point in that? That it doesn't add anything to the show. It's just you're putting that in. It's like the rest of the special editions. You're just adding it because you can.
Yeah.
Not because it serves the story. Not because
Lucas saw it different, I guess. You know, he saw things that he wanted to do different, and we all thought it was perfect.
That was the first toy release for the special edition.
Yes, it was.
Was him. So that's what I'm saying. That was all marketing. Here you go. Very first thing thrown in there, scene. Get your grabber, whatever he was, and there you go. That was the very first one. Special edition figure. Yes.
Yeah, I bought it.
And you realize later, no.
What was your guys' reaction?
Which one was that? I wasn't. Which was the first figure? The Stap?
No, for the special editions, the little silver robot with the girder. Yeah. What were you saying, Joey?
What was your guys' reaction on the shockwave when the Death Star blew up? Shockwave.
I
like that.
Those are the added effects that I enjoy. I apprdated. Like
Star Trek did it right before that, so
they didn't.
They had to
do something with him.
I don't know what that show is.
What's that, Crystal? Sorry.
I said I always like more explosions. You can never have enough.
Yeah.
And I like the Shockwave better than the broken up cereal, whatever it was. You know, the originals was, and that's how I always saw it. Was like it was spilt
cereal.
something. Yeah, I don't know why. It just
like how they when they blew up Starkiller Base, that was phenomenal. You know, even though it turned into a sun, but it was phenomenal, that explosion.
Yeah.
Let's do. They can do the Death Stars a little bit more, dynamic too. I think there's room there for another one.
No.
Gavin Connor wants to lobby for special editions of the prequels and sequels. Those are the ones that actually need it.
Sequels, 100 million%. I don't know what you could do with the prequels anymore at this point.
They could probably
Short
make
the Padres.
They could probably make the Attack of the Clones, some of the animation Attack of the Clones, they could sharpen it a little bit, make it a little bit more realistic now.
That's fair.
But honestly, though, that's what Gavin Connor followed up specifically. Prequels, visually, sequels, storyline. Absolutely.
Prequels, visually, mainly in 2, to be honest. Right? Because 3 is pretty spot on.
3 is pretty good.
Yes,
3 is pretty good. There's a couple of scenes where it's a little but overall it's not bad.
And 1's pretty solid, to be fair, too. And 2, you guys know I love Attack of the Clones. I love Attack of the Clones. My only beef with Attack of the Clones is some of the CGI. It's so overly CGI'd, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I think, dumbing that down a bit, taking it down, a notch. Kind of like I do with Kenobi and the Disney Plus shows. I take it down to standard definition, set it high, and everything looks better. Need to do the same thing to the prequels.
Yeah, right. The sequels need a lot of work, a lot of special editions, almost to the point where
Matthew Carlisle wants to get rid of Darth Jar Jar. There,
they kind of did. I mean, episode 2 and by episode 3, he was written out complete. Just a little hello.
Yeah,
that was
sorry.
He was kind of written out of the thing, you know. And,
well, I mean, after you've installed the emperor as, you know, the supreme chancellor, given him all of his powers, what else do you have to do?
Be a jokester on Naboo.
Yeah.
Who else are we gonna blame all the bad plots on? Like,
Right.
yeah, exactly. Jar Jar doesn't bug me as much as Holdo does. So,
wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put a purple wig on Jar Jar, man. There you go, right there. That's the ultimate character.
He was still
Admiral
rocking
Jar
there.
Jar.
Admiral Jar Jar. The prequels suffer from being shot digitally with prototype cameras that were 1080p. Yeah.
That's right.
That was it. And again,
And CGI.
watch the ILM thing because it makes sense. It really puts a lot of things in perspective on the gripes that we had. Maybe for me personally, I'll speak for myself, taking maybe cinema for granted with the technology, thinking they should have done it so much, better. Why does it look like this? And it was a stepping stone for everything else to come. And that's why we always say on paper, it's brilliant, but visually it kind of suffers. It's wooden, it's a little too digital and stuff. So.
I gotta bring
fix
this
the
up.
pair.
I gotta bring this up because fix the pair. Bravo has brought the damn pair up twice now in this conversation. We had to say something about it.
The pair in episode 2, yeah. Great.
Oh, but anyway, we are
here
well
we go.
past our time.
Here we go. I'm sorry. Yeah, real fast. The Skyrider say ASP7 was the specific droid that we were talking about, the CGI
Thank
droid
you.
that we had the figure, which was shockingly, human size. I thought it was gonna be a little.
Oh, and on Tatooine.
Yes.
Yeah.
That shot when they're going into
that
Mos
hits
Eisley.
the hits the
little
gotcha,
droid.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well,
So
hey,
dumb.
you know what? That wheel was fun because there's a lot more topics on there
I love
that
the
we'll have
wheel.
to save and do again. This was a lot of fun. I like the interaction of it and controversial subjects at times.
I don't like any of it. I told you in the beginning, this is not my style. I don't like talking that much. I don't like arguing. So keep it
Sure.
If you
That's
want
the-
us to
yeah.
add anything to the wheel, leave a
Yeah.
comment down below. Let us know what you would like us to debate about. I think that would be a lot of fun. More interaction from you guys. You guys are also part of the Sarlacc Digest. So
Yeah. And some of those things that we deem controversial, would you guys deem controversial that maybe we can hit a 10-minute segment on that too? It's anything goes on these kind of shows. So
thank you, Matthew Carlisle. We love the wheel too.
thank you very much. Yeah, it was awesome idea. And it gets us really kind of narrowing down our Star Wars fandom to reiterate our points on certain things.
Yeah.
There's everything. There's the Star Wars and then there's the sequels. But anyway, this is in the point of the show where
okay, hold on. We're not done yet then.
Oh, God.
You can't end like
I heard that timer.
Even the sequels are Star Wars. They exist.
Again,
they're
the timer
canon.
went off. I don't.
They go in their place. We don't have to love them and talk about them all the time, but they do exist.
I don't know who this we is, but yeah.
We is us, fool.
I agree. They're not my favorites, but they exist. It happened. I mean, it's written in stone. It happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
I admit it. I don't agree with it.
A lot of.
Thank you, Lando.
I don't like it, but I accept it.
Exactly.
Can we bring back another season of Resistance?
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Whoa,
Well,
with that,
it was really nice having Ernie back on the show for a little while, but
anyway, guys, thank you, everyone. We're gonna end this. Thank you so much. This was awesome. Everybody in the Sarlacc crew, the pit, everybody. Before we get out of here and do our say goodbyes, of course, we always ask you to do something with that like button, right? But this time, we want you to wampa stomp that like button. Wampa stomp it! I'm stomping on Ernie, by the way. You don't have a wampa.
oh god, I lost my arm.
I didn't know.
Welcome back, Ernie.
There you go, guys. Yeah, hit that like button, stomp that like button. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Tell a friend. We'll be back next Wednesday with an all-new show at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And everybody on the replay, thank you very much for joining. Leave a comment in the section below, please, on future subjects that you want us to put on the wheel. And let us know your thoughts on it and see what you guys came up with our thoughts on those subjects. So with that, Ernie's back, so I'm going to leave it. I'm going to take it over to him.
You just
So we
did
can
it.
do our
That was
outro.
great. Yeah. That was amazing. I'm like, oh, good job, Marco.
But I know like we do have links in the description below to Rogue Toys, Crystal's toy shop, to go visit her online too. Go buy everything from her. It's awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it to Ernie to take us out because I missed that voice.
Don't forget to check us out on all types of social media. Everybody who was here from Facebook tonight, thanks for joining us. Make sure you're part of the Sarlacc Digest on Facebook over there. It's 24/7 talk all the time of Star Wars, and it's very enjoyable. Don't forget our TikTok with the 1-minute reviews. You can actually catch those here too on YouTube. Go back, check out all our content. There's tons of stuff everywhere. If you just found out about us and you're just joining us, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and hit all. This way you don't miss when we're on. So again, don't forget Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. You can find us everywhere. You need some of those special links. They are found down in the description like that. Go over to Crystal Store. Don't forget Tashi Station Emporium for all your figure stand needs. From everything from NECA to Joe's to Star Wars to Marvel Legends. He's got it all over there with much more to come. Yeah.
I saw a preview. I saw a preview of something coming today. Oh, I cannot wait.
Nice.
Tashi Station is incredible.
Nice. So that's down below. Are you still giving out a discount with the code?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right there too.
Don't forget to put in Sarlacc Digest Podcast for 10% off the entire order. Link is in the description down there.
Down there, that's Tashi Station Emporium. Check out all of our own social medias. You got Darth Mucho over there at Tashi Station Emporium. The Art of Scott Solo, Bootleg Joe is on there. Chris, hot topic, man. Are we gonna bring that back?
We're gonna rib on.
That's on the wheel. That was on the wheel too.
It was coming. Yes. I told. Yes, it's coming back. I'm thinking of ways to dust it off. We're gonna
soon.
So you go there.
It has to be a reinvention, right? Because I'm not as angry as I used to be. So I need to figure out my more mellow self angle. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen, right? I'll start talking, and by the end of it, I'm going to be sweating and cussing and being done. So, and since, you know what? I was doing Hoth when we were R-rated, so it's really hard to be Hoth, PG-13.
But Hoth is different, though. Hoth is the break-off, so you can.
Can we, though? But it's still us.
I would say yeah, because if that's Hot Topic and it's you, then go for it.
I get more than one per episode, then I'm back. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, that's like your sister station. I mean, you come here to get PG Chris, and all of a sudden you really get Grand Admiral Franz over on a Hot Topic of like, okay, I have to see this. I mean, we need another epic number 4 show, right? I mean, that's my favorite one.
Gordon has the best idea ever. Fun episode, add a section on the wheel called Thrawn, but Chris can't say a thing.
That's how you get Hot Topic.
That's when you get him back, right?
Because immediately after the show, I'm recording my own. We're back.
Right.
Figured it out.
So hopefully that does come back. Don't forget, Crystal Store is down there as well, too, for all your figure needs. Be sure and hit that up. Can we find you on social media as well,
yes.
Crystal?
I'm Rogue Toys Crystal on Instagram.
There you go. See, I'll get that in my rep. Thank you, everybody in the pit, for joining us, and those are part of the Red 5 Network. Don't forget to also hit up our store for some merch, from shirts to glasses to everything is there. Oh, look at those pints. Those
Trinket
are nice.
Nerdy, everybody.
Yeah, you got to keep that there. Get yourself a shirt if you feel so inclined. Help us out on our Patreon because it buys cool stuff like these sabers. I mean, this right here. So please help us out.
I guarantee you it does not buy sabers.
No,
but if we get enough,
then we'll duel and we'll film it for you.
There you go. Content is content.
Right. It was a prop for our movie. We had to.
Hey, and tell you what, everybody, I mean, if you can help us out, we're getting really close to 1,000. Like, really close, okay? Yeah. And we're doing this, organically. We're not trying to go out and buy views and do a bunch of stuff. It's just, we are what you see, right? Yeah. So if you can tell your friends, share the page, share everything, and tell them to subscribe and help us out. Help us get to 1,000, That's our goal right now, is to get to that magic number. So help us out.
And it sure as hell would have been a lot easier had we bought followers, but no.
That's
not natural.
It's not fun.
And check out our special episode dropping tomorrow, right? Did we talk about that?
There you go.
Here?
That's right. You're on here, special episode tomorrow.
Yeah. Yes. So be sure and check that out. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate you all. Go be a part of that replay crew and check out all the past content. And then, just like Chris said, bring a friend on over. Hit all the links for all our other shows that you see. And we'll see you guys next week at Wednesday, 8 p.m.
Yes,
and Wampa Stomp!
Wampa Stomp!
Wampa Stomp that like button!
I
still don't have
Good
one.
job, Ernie. Ernie, just put your hand on the Wampa on the screen.
I almost reached over to put it in front of him.
Yeah, here you go. Here you go, Ernie.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. Hand it to me, Chris.
I tried, and it didn't. I was going to toss it. And
Awesome show, guys. I love it. I will see you guys next week. And with that, Scott,
keep it nerdy, everybody.